UCAB trial was in a relatively rare disorder called primary biliary cholangitis, and one of the real problems in that disease is people get very profound fatigue, and this is the sort of fatigue that can dramatically affect people's quality of life and stop them working, for example. So it's a big problem for people who get PBC.
If you don't have energy in your life but you're not living, you can't keep up with anybody. You have to become a totally whole new person. You kind of have to fake who you were because you haven't the energy to be you anymore. So yeah, it's you isolate yourself up, so it's, I would like to even get half my energy back and be happy.
It can be challenging. The thing is, we look so well, and we don't understand the condition, so it's really, really hard explaining it to other people because we don't understand it, so it's hard for other people to understand it. But I've been quite lucky actually over the years. It's only really in the last 6 months that in the morning when my alarm goes off, I keep pressing snooze and have to drag myself out of bed every day.
It can be really debilitating for these patients to live with fatigue and very isolating for them. It interrupts their whole life, their jobs, the way that they interact with other people. So hopefully it will improve their quality of life in the long run.
What it is, it's an autoimmune condition which affects the bile ducts in the liver, so that the bile doesn't drain properly in the liver and can cause cirrhosis. Not in every patient.
So UCAB is a new drug with a good theoretical basis for being able to improve fatigue in PBC. So I think we all wanted to make that trial work because it's a big unmet need in PBC. So we work with the PBC Foundation, a patient organisation who have a large number of people with PBC in contact with them regularly, with a lot of trust there about, they know they're looking after their interests.
The idea is to give the drug twice daily and monitor, obviously the patient health and make sure there's any abnormalities, and also to monitor how the body reacts to this drug.
This particular part of the study was to make sure that the drug is safe to use and safe in patients, so it doesn't cause any major problems. But I do hope that it will help improve some of their symptoms, and the patients that were taking part in this first phase will then go on to hopefully take part in the second phase of the trial, which is a bit of a longer one, looking at how well the drug works. And I really do hope it works for them.
So we have our wards here and we monitored the patient successfully. Everything went perfect. We didn't have any problem with any patients. Everything is recorded.
So I was expecting to be bored, but when I've got here and the other participants are like really friendly, I think we're going to have a good week.
Oh, they couldn't do any more. They've just been so considerate and compassionate, from us eating to, do you have enough to drink, or is there anything we can do for you? Warm, you cold, do you know what I mean? They've been absolutely fabulous, with big smiles on their face, I will add, and a brief bit of crack.
I think it was really good that they got to meet other people face to face that also had the same sort of experiences that they had. So I think overall they actually did seem to enjoy it quite a lot, and I think they may have formed some new connections and some new friendships, which is quite nice.
I think Nottingham's was a good place to run the trial, partly because we've got such fantastic facilities. There are a number of CRFs across the country, but not all of them by any means can run overnight stays of patients and look after a cohort of 5 people, which we did in this trial. So I think the quality of the facilities and the staff to look after those patients was clearly very important. I think the other thing is having a relationship with the patient organisation to be able to identify people. And also I've worked alongside the PBC Foundation on a number of other projects over the years, so there's a personal element to it as well.
You need to have a specially designated facility to be able to deliver this, because it deals with lots of very specific procedures, like specific times you have to take blood from the patient, specific times you have to administer the drug, specific monitoring requirements. So it is important that you have a separate area outside of the clinical part of the hospital where you can just focus on this, otherwise it wouldn't be safe.
I've loved working on the study, It's been a really good experience for the team. It's been really good to meet the patients, and it's been really fulfilling to run the study and sort of see the patients come together as a group of friends as well, which has been lovely.
It's a really good unit for doing these kind of trials. I think the UCAB trial was definitely a big challenge, and I'm really glad that everybody came together and managed to support us to deliver it. So I really, really hope that there'll be more studies like this in the future, which make a difference to patient care.
I think it's excellent. I think everyone's been really friendly. The staff have been really, really helpful. Yeah, it's all been good. Because I suppose really not many of us queue up to come in hospital, but it's all been good.
Yeah, so I think it was fantastic to see us being able to deliver this trial. I think the staff were fantastic, and they went out of their way to make sure that it happened safely for the patients, that the patients were looked after and felt very well cared for, which I think they did. They certainly told me that they did. So I think it was a fantastic thing to be part of. It really sets the scene, I think, for us to be able to run many more early phase trials here in Nottingham.